Yeah, I'm sorry. You had something else?
No. I was just interested to see what other games you wanted to touch on here.
How about Seattle getting their feathers plucked against Buffalo? I mean, the score was 34-44. It was not that close. It was not that close. Buffalo beat the shit out of this team. Josh Allen did whatever the hell he wanted to do against that Seattle defense, and they should be fucking embarrassed. And I'm not saying that Josh Allen, he's been a really, really good quarterback this season. I give him all the credit. But he just lit them up. Like, he did like literally anything that he wanted to do. 415 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. It's like, I'm like, come on. Seattle's defense is this bad, bro. Like, I don't know if I can list Seattle as a legit contender because of how bad their defense is. Russell Wilson cannot win shootout after shootout after shootout every single game out there. He can't do it. You got to give some type of defensive support to help this man. And I mean, Russell Wilson didn't play the greatest game, 390 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he had 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and 2 fumbles. You can't have that, man. Like, Seattle's defense, oh my God, all season long. And then this game was just a capper on that, man. It's tough. It was tough. If I'm a Seattle fan again, I feel like shit right now coming into week 10, bro.
My favorite thing that you said is just that I don't think they can be a serious contender either. A lot of the pundits still have this team as like a top 5 team or a top 6 or 7 team in the league, and you can't put them there. It's something like the first team in NFL history to start the first 9 weeks of the season having both scored and given up more than 23 points per game, or 23 points in every game, I guess I should say. And just opposing offenses can just score at will on Seattle. And the only reason they've been as successful as they've been so far with their win-loss record is because of Russell Wilson and that offense, in particular that passing offense. Think about this. They lost 44-34. Obviously, they gave up a ton of points to the Bills, who looked great. I'm not taking anything away from them, but Seattle's defense is historically bad. And then also, they managed to put up 34 points of their own despite turning the ball over 4 times on actual turnovers and a 5th if you count a stop on 4th down.
Yeah.
So that's a scary, scary offense. And I just think that eventually you're going to run into teams in the playoffs that are going to be able to either outduel you, right, in the big shootouts, kind of like Buffalo did, or just, put Russell Wilson on his back a couple times, and then, as every team's done, score at will on them. So this is a team that I'm not, if I'm a Seattle fan, I'm happy. I'm excited. They're fun to watch. They're maybe the most fun to watch team with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Even Moore is a very good receiver, David Moore. And obviously they're letting Russ cook. But, I'm not super optimistic about my team's chances for a deep playoff run this year.
Yeah, I don't trust them, man. And I mean, even in that division, like, they may not even win that division, honestly, because they got the Cardinals and Rams. The Cardinals already beat them once, and the Rams are right on their tail as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how that one ultimately plays out. All right, what you got next?
I don't disagree. The last one I really wanted to touch on for me is, you might have seen where I was heading here already. You might already know my sneaky favorite team of 2020, those Minnesota Vikings, beat up on the Lions 34-20, and they just kind of had the game handily just all game. I'm telling you, this is a team that can win. They've got some deficiencies on defense, but I just feel like with that running game and a quarterback and coach that have a history of, they've won playoff games, this is a team that could do some damage. I know you've scoffed at me in the past about this team. They're at 3-5 right now. They're in trouble. But if there's a team that's poised, if you had to ask me one team, if you said, Ed, co-host of the year, who is the one team that has a losing record right now in the NFL that you think could somehow make a playoff run? Absolutely, without a doubt, I'm saying Minnesota, because they've got all the pieces. They've got a defense that can show up sometimes. They have probably who's been the most dynamic and athletic running back in the league in Dalvin Cook, who all the props to him. He's running for 200 yards a game. They're just feeding this guy the rock. And they've got my man, Primetime Kirk. So that's the game I wanted to talk about here. I think the Lions are a mess, of course, but primetime Kirk, man, it's what it's all about.
Oh boy.
No,
man,
don't you boy that. Don't you boy that.
Good, man. You are good. You need to get on their marketing team and go and sell their products, because bro, I applaud you. I really do. You do it every week, and I applaud you.
They're selling it. They're selling themselves. I don't have to sell them.
No.
Yes.
No.
They won by double-digit touchdowns. 2 touchdowns they won by. 14 points.
First of all, this team should be called the Minnesota Dalvins at this point, because he's literally carrying his team to victories. What he has done over the last 2 weeks is remarkable. Like you said, over 500 yards of total offense, and six touchdowns or some crazy shit right now. He is going nuts.
He's been excellent, but they had Kirk Cousins throw the ball upwards of 20 times last game. Okay, so 20 times they asked Kirk to throw the ball, and he completed most of them. So he's fine.
Kirk Cousins played well, but Kirk Cousins doesn't play that well if Dalvin Cook doesn't have the games that he's having. All right, let's call it what it is. Let's be honest here. Play action works wonders when you got a running back that's going fucking 10 yards a pop. Every time he touches the ball, he's getting a first down damn near. Come on, Rueter.
The glory of this is that I don't have to be honest. Say whatever I want. And I want to say that these Vikings are going to make the playoffs.
They're going to make the playoffs?
They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to go on a run. This is a good team. You know what? Hidden in some bad performances. There's a good team in there somewhere, I'm telling you.
We're going there then. Fuck it. All right, so they're going to make the playoffs.
I don't know the route yet.
Nope. You got to tell me the route. Come on. You go ahead. Take your time. Figure it out.
All right, give me a second here. Right now, they're sitting at – let's check out these wild card playoffs. Let's see where they're sitting right now.
Okay.
In the NFC. They're sitting 10th right now.
Okay.
How many teams make the playoffs this year?
7.
10 or 12? How many make it? 7.
7 on East Conference.
So they got to make up 2 games on Arizona, the Rams, Chicago, San Fran. San Fran is injured as hell. They're broken. The Chicago Bears, they've lost a whole bunch in a row. Nick Foles is a backup. They might as well go back to Trubisky. Yeah, right. I said it. And then the Rams, the Rams, I like the Rams because I think I like Jared Goff more than most people. I think, McVay is still a great coach. They haven't played their best. They've been a up and down team, very similar to Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. And they're at 5-3. So that's a team that could lose a bunch of games right there. And you overtake the Rams, you're already in that top 7. Arizona, I don't trust entirely. Tampa Bay, I don't trust entirely. There's not going to be a playoff team out of the NFC East other than the division winner. The next closest team is the one that they just beat in Detroit at 3-5 after those teams. I'm telling you, this Minnesota team can make the playoffs. If the Rams falter or Arizona falters, I can guarantee you Minnesota makes the playoffs because the Bears are on their way down. San Francisco's on their way down. Detroit has no chance. And then you're talking teams like Atlanta and Carolina, too wildly inconsistent. Mark my words. You heard it here first. Minnesota's going to the playoffs.
All right, so I'm looking at the rest of their schedule. So next week they got Chicago Monday night. And then
primetime Kirk. Are you kidding me? That's a W.
Okay, you can take that all you want. Then they at home against Cowboys.
W. Cowboys are terrible.
Home against the Panthers.
Win.
Home against the Jaguars.
Easy win. These are all now. Okay, so you may have caught me in some hyperbole here. This is my stretch opinion that this team can make the playoffs. Can you honestly tell me there's a game on that slate of 4 that they can't easily win so far? Playing the way they're playing right now.
If they're playing the way that they're playing the way that they're playing right now, they can win all 4 of those games.
And that puts them at 7-5. Hold on. I bet you right there that puts them in a playoff spot at that point.
Ain't no fucking way in hell they're about to go win 6 games in a row. Ain't no fucking way in hell.
Why
bro.
not? Why not? They figured out the juice.
Kirk Cousins Monday night, they're probably losing to Chicago. They probably beat Dallas. They're probably losing to Carolina, and they probably beat the Jaguars. They probably go 2-2 at best.
You know what? The team that I'm most afraid of on there is the Jaguars because I think they play well against those good teams. I think they look past, Luton and the Jaguars, and that's a game that I'm going to be all boasting about, and they'll probably lose that one for me. But okay, so in all seriousness, let's say they go 3-1 there. All right, that puts them at 6 and.
I like how you just twisted my words.
6-6. If they lose one, those are 4 very winnable games.
I'll give you 3
wins there. 6-6.
So now they travel into Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers.
That's a toss up.
That's a toss up.
That's okay. That's a statement game. That's a big game. That's a game that could be fighting for their playoff lives right there. Both teams. That's going to be a marquee game. Mark my words. That's a big game in the NFC right there. That might be a battle for a playoff spot.
Chicago again.
Terrible. Easy win.
New Orleans at New Orleans.
Lose that.
And then
lose that.
And then at Detroit.
And then they're going to beat Detroit again. They're going to beat the brakes off Detroit again. There's like 6 winnable games, very winnable games in there, and I bet you they surprise for another one. This team's making the playoffs. 10-6 or 9-7, and they sneak in.
So let's be realistic of what's going to happen. First of all, Dalvin Cook is about that time when he gets hurt, and it's unfortunate, but let's be realistic. This is what happens. He gets hurt.
Okay.
So he's going to get hurt soon. Kirk Cousins on Monday night. No, just no. He's going to throw 3 interceptions. The Chicago Bears are going to win. No, that's not happening. They're not beating Tampa Bay. They're not beating New Orleans. At best, they may be able to get to 8-8. I think they're going to finish 7-9, 6-10. I don't see it.
So I have 2 words for you after Dalvin Cook gets hurt. They're both proper nouns. Alexander Madison. The kid's nasty also. Also, Justin Jefferson. Alliteration aside, the kid is sick with it.
He's a beast.
They've got Thielen, who's nasty. They've got Kyle, don't call me red-nosed Rudolph, and he is old but good as well.
Did you make that up
and
on the spot?
primetime Kirk. I was putting all those things together on the spot.
That was solid. I commend you on that one. I
did what I could there. That's a lot of players that they've got there, even without Dalvin Cook. This is a winning team.
Bro, I need you to put the purple Kool-Aid down.
I drank the Kool-Aid, man. I drank my own Kool-Aid is what I did. I made the Kool-Aid, and then I drank it.
Man, hey, listen.
Rely on your own supply, right?
I will give you credit. Yo, you stick with them. You really do stick with this Vikings team. I got to give credit where credit's due.
Here's the thing. They're 3-5. They have a losing record right now, but they've covered almost all those games. Have they not?
That's
have they not covered?
That's a fact.
They've lost close games in bullshit ways, and they've lost by single digits. This is a team that's a fluke play away here or there from already having a winning record. That's a fact. That's not
away here.
Yeah, an extra takeaway in any of those given games that they lost. You take one game and make it different. They're a 4-4 team right now.
Or if they lose the Green Bay team, they're 2-2 and whatever. They won 2 games. Come on, you can say that was a fluke game.
I just feel it. This is a playoff team. They play like a playoff team. They're built like a playoff team. They play tough defense. They're prone to giving up big plays, but they play tough defense. They're well coached, and they've got a pound it up your ass running game. I'm telling you, this team can make the playoffs. In an NFC, dude, are you that confident in the Rams, the Cardinals, and Tampa Bay right now?
I trust them more than Minnesota.
All coming off losses, by the way?
I will pick them all day to make the playoffs over Minnesota, yes.
Oh, it's easy when their game's up. That's a hot take.
Oh, man. I love it, though, man. Listen, keep riding with them, bro. This is your guys. I respect it.
Don't make them my guys.
They're just guys.
They're not my guys. That's the thing. That's how confident I am in this team. These are not my guys. I'm not a homer. This isn't a team that I love. This isn't a team that I like. Look how
you're getting right now. You standing up. You about to go throw on your Vikings jersey?
I don't have a Vikings jersey.
Basically.
I might get one before this year's over.
About to go get you a Captain Kirk jersey?
You like that?
Oh, boy. Hey, man, listen. If they make the playoffs...
Yeah,
I gotta get you something. I might get you a Kirk Cousins jersey if they make the playoffs.
You better.
I might have.
I'm telling you, I could see it.
Of course, it's gonna be like the Chinese, like $30 one, but I'm gonna get you one.
Their schedule is not hard, and they play well.
Man, that is tough. All right, man. That's pretty much all I got. That I can't believe we spent that much time on the fucking Minnesota Vikings, man.
I can't believe we didn't spend enough time on them.
Holy cow. Shout out to Minnesota. Shout out to Vikings Nation. Rueter is rocking with you guys right now.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's all I've got for the NFL. Those are all the games that I wanted to touch on too. So I loved it, man. Today we talked a little baseball, talked a little, just a little sprinkling, just a little salt bay of politics as well. Just a little bit. And then wrapped it up with some Big Game Kirk, you like that Vikings